higher taxes and more regulation and bigger government. We understand that a government that's big enough to do everything for you is powerful enough to take anything away from you. And we never should keep very far from that in mind. Nowadays they say they can't even protect the border. My friends, it's a matter of will more than it is ability. They need the will to protect the border from illegal immigration. And remember a very basic proposition. That is, a country that cannot protect its border will not forever remain a sovereign nation. It's just that simple. And it's a national security issue also. In the kind of world that we live in, I don't know why terrorists would go through an airport anymore. We pick up thousands of them. We catch about 1 out of 3 and pick up thousands of them that are from countries that are terror related. And it's a serious problem that we have to deal with. I'm concerned about Congress. When I look and see more division and more acrimony, more looking to the next election than to the next generation about all things, big and small. When I run off, and it got me into the movie business one time. You know, I've had a case, and we took on the governor, and he went to jail, and they made a movie about it, and came to town and said, "We want you to play yourself in this movie." And I figured they couldn't tell me I was doing it wrong, but sure enough they did a time or two in the process. But I decided to put that aside, put the law practice aside, and run for the United States Senate. And had the opportunity to do some things there that I thought was good. We were able to balance the budget. We came in, we were able to cut taxes. We were able to reform welfare. We were able to make Congress, for the first time, believe it or not, to live under the same laws they'd imposed on other people and other businesses. We were able to start to turn our military around in terms of modernization. We'd taken a holiday from history after the Cold War. We thought we weren't going to need the military and our intelligence capabilities anymore, apparently. So we had to build that up. We cut back by about a third, if you can believe that, with the threats and problems facing the country. Research and development, procurement, things of that nature, our intelligence capabilities. So we were able to do something about that. And I was proud because we'd been elected and given a mandate based upon solid principles that we were talking about all across the state, and as it turned out, all across the nation, which the people responded to. We talked about the importance of being pro-life. We talked about the importance of protecting the Second Amendment. We talked about the importance of lower taxes, which is not only the fair thing to do, but spurs economic growth, which underlies everything else in this country. We talked about respect for private property. We talked about the importance of the free competition among ourselves and with other nations, and trade that benefited not only ourselves, but other nations. These were the things that we talked about. These were the things that connected with the American people at a time when we thought we were down. Does that sound familiar? I think we need to get back to some of those things, and I think we need to remember the underlying principles that guided us to those positions. What I call the first principles of this nation founded on, based upon some pretty basic things, based upon the wisdom of the ages, based upon the notion that some things in this little changing world just don't change. Just don't change. They're constant. And that the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States are not outmoded documents that are to be cast aside at will and irrelevant to today's issues. The Declaration of Independence reminded us that our basic rights come from God and not from government. The Constitution reminds us that the government that produces free people is one with divided power, not just at the federal level, between the state and the federal level. It's called federalism. It equates to freedom. It equates to freedom, individual freedom, political freedom, economic freedom. And that's been the basis of everything that we've done in this country. It's been the basis of everything I believe. And I believe the same things today as I did in 1994 when I first ran for political office.